Oh, look great. You know, Wednesday is one of my very favorite times. I love to come together with my family on Wednesday night, sit around and study the Lord's Word a little bit, to get our faith encouraged to get through the rest of the week. It's a wonderful, wonderful time, isn't it? Before I do the Devo, I've got a commercial, okay? So don't start timing me on the Devo. Let's do the commercial first. I want to talk about September 17th. It's going to be an incredible day. We've set that day aside for Friends Day, okay? And we've done this. We do it every year. It's always a great time to invite your friends and your loved ones to come and worship the Lord that we know with church family. Good. I want you to do that if you would. That would be awesome. But you know, the federal government is behind us 100% on this. I don't know if you knew that or not. But they have said that September 17th is National Back to Church Day. They just tagged on to us. Isn't that great? They'll do anything for us. That is wonderful. So you all be sure and come here for that event if you would. It's a wonderful time. But the day won't be over then. That evening, 6 o'clock on the 17th of September, we're going to have another fireside Devo. Now, we've had these before. We're going to have a little fire pit out here on the gravel, and we're going to bring our camp stools and our chairs, and we're going to gather around, sit around that campfire, and we're going to have a worship period together. We'll be singing and praying, and Richard's going to bring us an awesome lesson, a Devo, so it's a wonderful time for you to be here and do that. That's a great thing. And then as we close out the evening, we're through with our worship, we're going to stick around and have a little fellowship together, okay? We got a fire going, so let's sweeten it up. We're going to have some s'mores for everybody. So, wonderful time, isn't it? Okay, you all be here. September 17th, don't forget it, okay? Good stuff happening. It was early June. Dana, you can start the timer now. It was early June. I took some good friends to the airport early in the morning. I dropped into the airport and I jumped back on the freeway and I headed home. I was going west on the freeway, and as I was driving down the freeway, lo and behold, there in the sky, oh, it must have been a full moon. Oh, how gorgeous and beautiful it was. It was incredible. It lit all the landscape around. Just such a beautiful thing to see that full moon. Now we know, don't we, why God created the moon. God created the moon to reflect the light and the glory of the sun. The moon doesn't have any power of its own, doesn't have any glory of its own. It only reflects the glory and the power of the sun. And when the moon does what it's supposed to do, what it was created for, it brings light and glory to the world through this light, and it is a blessing for mankind, isn't it? Now, when we get a full moon and it just lights up the earth and it's just so beautiful and we can see where we're going, we don't fall into the pitfalls, you know, we're able to see, and things are really good, aren't they? We all love that because the darkness is dispelled by the light that is reflected from the moon. But at times, the moon kind of starts to go behind the earth, and when the world overshadows that moon, the moon can't reflect the full light it needs to. And then when it gets around to the backside of the earth, well, it just goes dark, doesn't it? It doesn't reflect any lights whatsoever. The world has got in the way of the light, and it's not good, it's dark. But if you just wait a little bit, pretty soon the moon comes on around to the other side of the earth, and we see that little bitty glimmer, just that little sliver of light, and we think, oh man, it's coming back. It's going to light our night again. Isn't that so awesome? It's beautiful. It gives us hope and gives us joy and gives us promise to see that light coming back into the world again. Now sometimes, rarely, the moon gets in the way. In the middle of the day, it comes between the sun and the earth, and there's darkness. It blocks out the light of the sun altogether, and it doesn't reflect the light of the sun because of its angle. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Well, Again, let me say, when the moon does what it's supposed to do, when the moon does what it's created for, it's going to be a glory for mankind, isn't it? It's going to reflect the beautiful glory, the beautiful light of the sun. That is so precious, I think. Jesus came upon this audience. It was a huge crowd there, and he started to share some just wonderful ideas with them. He looked out over that crowd, and he said to that crowd, and I think he says it to us today too, he says, "You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works," and listen now, "and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Doesn't our Lord say that so well? I love it when he speaks and he's got these kinds of words for us, something I can get my arms around. We're so blessed to be God's children. So family, how you doing tonight? Is anybody burdened with sin? They just can't seem to shake it off. You know now, tonight will be a good time. Just come down with the family here. Need somebody to talk to? Maybe you need us to pray over it, to give you the strength, whatever it may be. We would love to be able to do that. Or maybe it's your time that you start that journey tonight from your seat up here to this grave right up here. You know, this grave is filled with a lot of folks' sins. They're all dead and they're buried. We're not going to let them back up again. Are you burdened with sin? Maybe it's time you came to Jesus and made that journey up to the water, wash those sins away, and come up out of there feeling so good, blessed by the Lord. Listen, we can help in any way. Won't you come as we stand and sing?